YouTube, what's good? Welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over exactly how you're going to be making FU money this Q4 with AI organic dropshipping. All right, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I'm personally going to be approaching this Q4. If you guys are new here and don't know who I am, my name is Kevin Martins. I've done over 7 figures with ecom since the start of my journey, which was actually about 2.5 years ago. You guys can go ahead and watch my first ever video on this channel. It's the first one where I'm literally just on a couch talking about my 3-month experience with organic. And a lot has happened, right? We've pivoted from the traditional way of filming for products to now fully integrating AI implementation. And this video is going to be specifically about AI and how I'm going to be personally approaching it this Q4, because for all we know, this is the first ever Q4 with AI, and it's for sure going to be the best. All right, so during this lesson, we're going to be going over 3 key things. The first one is going to be the importance of Q4. Second is going to be what exactly you need to prepare for it. And third is going to be how to create the right systems for success. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what the Q4 even is. All right, for the people that don't know, Q4 stands for the 4th quarter of the year. All right, this period is by far the most important and most profitable quarter of the year for us, right? Because it includes major shopping events like Halloween, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, and New Year's sales. So you could think of it as like a double XP weekend for your favorite video game. But this double XP extends for 3 months straight, all right? And this is a picture of me during my last Q4. We absolutely ripped with my brand. And it's everything that you imagine it to be, because it's so good. It's like I get goosebumps just trying to explain it, because it's just like this feeling that you get, like the closer we get, it's like it just amplifies, it amplifies and amplifies. And it's a really good time to do ecom, all right? Not just organic. All right, so let's go over some of the psychology behind Q4 so you actually understand like why this is such a great period for us. So the first one is going to be like the emotional trigger, right? Everyone is like in this gift giving mode. So something that people like tend to think about, right, is, in the back of their head subconsciously, or maybe sometimes consciously, scanning through their feeds when they're brain running on TikTok, Instagram, or even Facebook, they frame it from like this perspective of like, who would actually love this? Would my mom love this present? Would my daughter love this? Or maybe my husband, right? Instead of saying like, do I need this, right? So this essentially like makes impulse purchases a lot easier to kind of like trigger, because buyers justify their purchase as thoughtful and not necessarily selfish. So it's kind of like a freebie. It's like, oh, like I'm getting this from my mom, so like I'm allowing myself to spend this type of money because it's my mother. You know what I'm saying? So point number 2 is going to be the low barrier decision making. So buyers don't necessarily overthink their purchases because everything is typically emotionally driven, right? Like I mentioned earlier, like people are thinking about their family, their friends, their loved ones. And so the average order value increases during Q4. And TikTok and Instagram, right? Like they start pumping out this type of content. That's why, like, as we get closer to Q4, you'll start seeing these types of videos of like, Amazon gift guides for, Christmas, or top 5 gifts for your dad this Christmas, or top 5 gifts for your mom this Christmas. You really start to see these videos all over your For You page because they essentially start pumping it out, right? And so when people see like a fun or emotional video, they just immediately hit buy, right? Like they don't even overthink it, because, most people like to wait till last minute, aka myself. And so if I see something cool on my For You page that would be like a perfect gift for like my dad loves grilling, like I'm like, I bet I'll buy it right then and there, so I don't have to worry about it later, So that's going to be point number 2. Point number 3 is going to be viral influence, and we're going to be using Labubu as an example because they fucking nailed this shit. All right, so social proof is absolutely massive in Q4, right? People want to give gifts that are unique, funny, sentimental, or viral. So when they see a product blowing up on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, literally everywhere, their brain like ties that emotion to status, okay? And like I mentioned earlier, a perfect example is Labubu, all right? If you live under a rock, these were essentially like these little plushies that girls would put on their purses, and tons of people would like line up for hours to get these things because a lot of them used to sell out. They also had mystery boxes, so people were like low-key gambling for some of these very rare variants. And this brand did about $1.6 billion, not million, billion dollars last Q4 because of that very reason, right? It had that scarcity factor. You would see celebrities wearing these, right? And tons of affiliate marketers on TikTok and Instagram would always make videos about them. And so if this is all you see on your For You page and you don't have one, especially as a female, right? You start to be like, damn, like, should I hop, on this trend, on this wave? Think about like back in the day when people used to wear like Roche-Runs. If like when I was in middle school, bro, if you didn't have a pair of Roche-Runs or a pair of LeBrons at least, like, what are you doing? And I remember I would beg my parents because I would see everyone in school wearing LeBrons. I would go on Instagram, everyone had a pair of LeBrons, and I only had a pair of Osiris's. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you get this emotion of like, damn, I need this right now because it's gonna make me look thoughtful and cool. And this could also connect to your videos. Let's say you go viral on Instagram, you hit a 1 million view video, and 500 of those comments is just strictly demand. And so when someone sees your video on their For You page, they're like, damn, bro, a lot of people want this. There's a lot of hype around this. And so they're gonna wanna buy it, right? Because people wanna be part of a trend. They wanna be part of the wave. All right, so that's gonna be point number 3. I hope you guys understand that concept. 4 is gonna be the scarcity and urgency factor that people typically get around this season. So that's why like Black Friday goes crazy for a lot of these like e-com brands and really just like brick and mortar brands, because they're essentially creating this feeling called FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. And so when shoppers, have this like time pressure, bro, they go crazy. And so that's why you see these videos of people like stampeding into a Walmart, stampeding into a Target, and literally like killing themselves just to get like a 40% discount, which in reality is just upcharged. So people think that they're getting a discount even though they're just paying normal price. So it's insane, right? You could just clearly see how scarcity and urgency plays a massive factor around this time period, which is why typically we're getting like an increased AOV, an increased conversion rate because of that scarcity factor. And then last one that I'm going to go over is that everyone's got money, bro. Like, seasonal paychecks and bonuses are hitting. Many people receive holiday bonuses, year-end performance bonuses from their job, right? And so people just overall have money, right? And this is more of like a mental permission slip to spend more freely, especially on gifts for their loved ones, right? It's like they kind of think of it as like extra money and not part of like their budget. It's like, oh, I got like an extra 2K bonus this year, which I'm just gonna spend for my gifts. You know what I mean? Like I've heard that so many times. Like, oh, I'm gonna just wait for my bonus to buy my Christmas presents, because it's almost like money that's meant to be spent during the season. And it's like, bro, it's almost like everyone has money around this time. All right, so next thing that we're gonna be going over is what you need to prepare for quarter 4. All right, now we're gonna get very tactical. It's gonna get saucy. This applies to beginners, intermediates, and advanced AI organic dropshippers. So pay attention, all right? You gotta be as locked in as possible. If there was ever a time to go all in on organic, the time is now. No missing uploads, no bullshitting, put your head down and work, because you can genuinely set yourself up to change your whole trajectory or even your families, right? Especially now with AI implementation. I told you guys this earlier in the video. This is going to be the first ever quarter 4 with AI. And for all we know, this is going to be the best one, because we don't even know how AI implementation is going to look like next quarter 4. But right now it's looking insane, right? We got people hitting 100K weeks in quarter 1, even in quarter 2. So imagine during quarter 4, like it's going to be insane. We're going to see some crazy, crazy records being broken. And so for now, you really got to take this seriously. So lock in. All right. Next thing is testing. Test. You need to be testing as many products as you can to figure out what you'll be taking come October, right? So we essentially have about a month and a half until October, and we need to run at least 3 products, bare minimum, or 2 if you're doing this part-time. So if you're doing this full-time, you should bare minimum be running 3 products, okay? Testing each product for 1 week max. That's the cutoff, all right? Assuming you're posting 3 high-quality videos a day. Also, you want to be doing product research consistently and not slacking on research, even if you're currently making money. Reason being, I've had tons of students of mine where they start hitting these crazy weeks, crazy months, and they almost kind of forget about product research because at that very time, they're printing, right? But it's very important that you continue doing product research even when you're making money, because I'm here to tell you there's always going to be a better product. And on top of that, the burner is so good for finding new concepts to also help you with your current products and even future products. So machine gun testing is going to be crucial because, like I said, we want to figure out, okay, what 3 products are we going to be taking into October, November, December, right? And we have to make sure that they're bangers. And so this is the time to literally test your ass off. All right, so point number 2 is going to be accounts, all right? Not only are we trying to set ourselves up with winning products, but also primed accounts that we can take into quarter 4. So you want to have at least 3 to 4 primed Facebooks and Instagrams ready to go. All right. If you don't have any primed accounts, try prime them with the niche growth method or by running a product that consistently pumps out good views. So typically like emotional products, pet products, and funny products tend to just get a lot of views, especially on Facebook and on Instagram. Majority Facebook, to be honest. And even just run 2 concepts right now is a phenomenal way to prime up an account, because it's almost like these platforms are favoring this type of concept. So I want to teach you guys something really, really quickly. So if you want to prime up a Facebook, right, what you can go ahead and do is just just start uploading AI funny dog videos. I'm not kidding, right? This account here, as you guys can see, has over 700,000 followers, and all they go ahead and do is just post funny dog videos that are obviously all AI, and all the videos are relatively the same. He's just split testing the different types of dogs, what they do in the video, and it's insane. It's a really good method to go ahead and just prime up a Facebook account as quickly as possible, because the cool thing about Facebook, guys, is that you can prime it up in like the dog niche, and of course run a dog product, and you can go ahead and run it up. But if you decide to maybe switch up the niche and start running, like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings, it's totally fine. Like, that account will still stay primed. So it's an incredible way to go ahead and prime an account super quickly. And as you guys can see, this guy is just ripping dog shit views, bro, like 400K, 1 million, 200K, like, and they're literally all the same videos. And if you want to take a look at how this looks, like, dude, it's just this over and over and over again, right? And this is how he was able to accumulate like 700,000 followers. But you can see how consistent these videos are. And again, the typical Facebook user doesn't even know this is AI. They think it's funny. And it's a great way to prime up a Facebook page really, really quickly. Let me show you another example right here. This is another page that I found. They got about 800,000 followers. And again, all these videos are AI. And again, it's a really, really quick way to go ahead and prime up a Facebook, even if you want to switch niches. All right. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. So yeah. Accounts are super crucial, because not only do we want to find winning products, but we also want to have the right types of accounts to print as many views as possible. Because again, I promise you that you don't want to have account issues in the middle of Q4, because it's a pain in the ass. So you want to have at least 3 to 4 prime Facebooks and IGs, right? Because these are going to be the 2 best platforms that you want to take into Q4, right? Like these are the best 2 platforms by far. TikTok, it's a little bit inconsistent, and it's really important that you have a Facebook and an Instagram account ready to go. All right, so some of you are probably wondering, what if I already have a product that I want to take into Q4? These are going to be the 3 main requirements that you need before making this decision. First one's going to be that the product must have multiple variations, right? It needs room for scalability to be ran October, November, December, right? 3 months. Second is that it must have done $20,000 to $30,000 in the last 30 days or over $100,000 in lifetime revenue, right? This could really resonate with like somebody in the space that has like elite knowledge, that remembers like an old banger from back in the day, right? If you know that that product has done over $100,000, then perfect. That could be a really good product to try and revive this Q4. Or if you have a product that you're currently running right now, right, that's done 20 to 30K in the last 30 days, all right, cool, that's awesome. That could be something that we could run during Q4. And then the last thing, right, we talked about it earlier, you must have a prime Facebook and Instagram for this product, all right? Like bare minimum, you need it, okay? So yeah, those are gonna be the requirements. Let's go ahead and compare good versus bad products to take into Q4. So let's go over the good first. As you guys can see, this is gonna be the OG POV camera, all right? This product has probably done close to 7 figures organically. And the really cool part about this product is that you could essentially target multiple niches with it, right? I've seen people do equestrians, bikers, motocross, soccer, sports, everything in between, obviously, even skiing. So it's a fantastic way to target multiple niches, right? To have that sort of longevity that we all want. Also, it could be given as a gift. So whether you're going to be giving this to your sister or your brother, it's a camera, right? So it's a very universal product that like literally anyone would just use. It's almost like a GoPro. And the best part about it is that we know that this product made money in the past. And so basically what we could do now in 2026 is essentially revive this product, but with new concepts. All right. So that's going to be a really good example of a very good product to take into Q4. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the bad. So as you guys can see, it's an emotional video sob story of a poor old craftsman trying to sell his Harry Potter wands. All right. And I promise you right now that this isn't going to get you out the trenches. This product isn't going to get you out the trenches. And this style of marketing isn't going to get you out the trenches, because you're basically just scamming people damn near. And it's also a very one-dimensional product. What I mean by that is that he's only selling one wand. So there's really no room for scalability. And yeah, you're basically just scamming. All right. So that's going to be an example of a very good product to take into Q4 and a very bad product to take into Q4. All right. So now we're going to be going over how to create the right systems for success. This is probably the most important part of the video. So if you made it this far, comment the word Q4. I want to see who made it this far. All right. I want to see the true ones, the true OGs. So pretty much what a system is, let's go ahead and break it down. Let's go ahead and get the definition going. Is a structured set of processes, steps, or components that work together consistently to achieve a specific goal or outcome. Obviously, our goal here is going to be to have a very good Q4 and print as much as possible. And some of the key parts of a system are going to be the inputs, what goes into it, the processes, the methods or steps taken to handle those inputs, the outputs, right, the results it produces, and then the feedback loop. This is a super important one. This is a very important one, and it's the adjustments made to improve the system over time. So what I'm going to show you now is a system that I created for, product testing. All right, it's very simple. It's very third grade level. So pretty much we have the input here, which is going to be obviously finding a product, right? When we test a product or a brand, you need to obviously go ahead and find it. You need to go ahead and find a private supplier, and you need to go ahead and start making the accounts to start posting. So that's going to be our initial input. Now, the process is going to be actually making and editing the videos, posting 3 to 5 videos daily, and testing multiple concepts to find, our outlier, right? To really go all in on it. So that's going to be the process right there. And then the output is going to be, all right, did this video actually go viral? Did we see any sort of demand? Did we even get sales? And what was the conversion rate on this product? Right? What was the per mil? Was it only 500 per mil, or was it upwards of 6 to 8K per mil? In that aspect, it would be like, all right, that's a pretty good output. All right. And so then we have the feedback, right? The decision that we're going to be making. All right. Did the product convert, like I mentioned earlier? And did the videos actually go viral? Do we cut the product or continue running it, right? So you're going to be looking at the output, you're going to be looking at the data, and then you're going to come up with a consensus, right? You're going to come up with a decision and see if this product is worth your time or not, right? So again, a very simple system. Like I mentioned, we have the input, which is finding the product, the process, which is going to be making and posting the videos. And then we have the output, which is going to be, did this video go viral and did it convert to sales? And then we have the feedback, which is, our decision making and seeing if we want to cut the product or continue running it throughout Q4. All right. So that's a very basic system that I created for you guys that all of you can go ahead and use. All right. Now, we're going to be going over 3 other systems that I created. The first one is going to be the testing daemon. All right. So the testing daemon system is pretty much like this. So the input is going to be testing 4 to 5 products at the same time. All right. We're really just trying to optimize for testing here. The process is going to be making the videos and editing them, then posting 3 to 5 videos per product, right? So we're going heavy on the testing here. You better have a lot of credits ready to go. And also machine gun testing multiple concepts to, again, figure out what's going to be our outlier video. What do we need to split test and double down on? All right. And then we have the output, right? Did this video get views, demand? How many sales is this product getting? And what's the overall conversion rate, right? And then we have the feedback, right? The decision that we're going to be making. All right. Do we cut the product or continue running it after 5 to 7 days? So for this testing daemon system, you want to be running products for a minimum of 5 days, but max 7 days to really get the ball moving and just cut your losses on the ones that really aren't going to get you a high ROI, right? So it's really important that you focus on that for this system right here. So again, very, very simple, right? This is for the type of person that wants to get data super, super quick, because that's the thing about AI, guys, is that we're able to get data so much quicker because we're able to efficiently and effectively test products way quicker than back in the day. You know what I mean? So like I have students that are doing this exact, system, and they're testing 4 to 5 products at a time and posting like absolute animals, obviously making sure that you're posting high quality content and seeing, all right, what am I going to take into Q4 and what am I going to just keep here in Q3? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's going to be system number 1. System number 2, right? This is an insane one. I can't believe I'm leaking this, but fuck it. You guys deserve it if you guys made it this far. System 2 is going to be reviving old winners. All right. So the input for this system is going to be testing 2 to 3 proven winners from back in the day, right? If you've been in the game for long enough, you probably have a couple of products in the back of your head that you remember, that made money, probably multiple 6 figures or hit like those crazy days that you could try and revive this Q4. Now, the process after finding those proven winners is going to be making the videos and posting 3 to 5 videos daily and testing. Here's the most important part: testing new AI concepts that didn't exist back in the day. And so, for example, one of my students actually revived the bloody mat from 2023, bro, 2023. And essentially what we did is we found all the accounts on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook that ran this product. And we essentially ripped the showcase part of the video where they're actually showing the effect of the bloody mat. I'll probably pop a video on the screen here for you guys to actually understand what this product is if you don't. But essentially what we did is like we ripped all the showcase clips and we introduced new AI concepts that didn't exist back in the day. Because my thought process is this, right? A product it's never going to be saturated. It's usually the marketing angles and the content that revolves around that product. And so at that time, 3-2-1s didn't exist. At that time, run two concepts didn't exist. And so what did we do? We did exactly that, and it worked, right? My student ended up doing like back-to-back 4K days with this product in 2026. We're talking 3 years later, all right? So again, very, very insane system that you can go ahead and create for yourselves. And then obviously going back to the demonstration here, the output is going to be, did we actually get demand? What was the total amount of sales, the conversion rate? And then the feedback would be, do we cut it or do we keep going, right? So that's going to be system number 2. And then the final one, and this is probably the most important one, is going to be your routine, right? Actually building out a good routine that works for you, that you could stick with to be as efficient as possible is a system, all right? So this is just for example purposes, but let's say in the morning for 3 to 4 hours, you're filming and you're editing your videos, aiming for 6 to 9 videos a day, right? During the midday, right, afternoon, you're going ahead and, doing some PR, concept research, also, posting content and engaging to, or replying to some comments and DMs, right? That could be like your afternoon task. And then during the evening, right, store operations, looking at how many orders you got. Are there any problems with shipping, customer support, etc.? And then at night for 15 minutes, you're reviewing your stores and planning tomorrow tonight, essentially, right? And so if you guys want a very detailed breakdown about my routine, you guys can go ahead and watch this video. I'll probably link it in the description below. But again, everyone's routine is different, right? I used to be the type of guy where I would just do a checklist on my notebook, right? Just checking everything off. But now I've had to essentially become the person that has a fully detailed Google Calendar where every single 30 minutes of my day has to be accounted for, because that's the level that I essentially had to get to scale past 50K a month. And in the beginning I feel like you can get away with like a little checklist, but after time, bro, if you really want to be as efficient as possible, you're gonna need to build some sort of calendar and be very meticulous about the time that you're putting into things, right? A good example, and I know this is a little bit off topic, but I used to be a big fan of like cooking stuff, right? But I noticed that it was taking up a lot of my time. Even just figuring out what I wanted to get to eat would take up a lot of my time, right? Because, you had to, if let's say I wanted to cook a steak, I had to go to like the Publix, get the steak, then go back, cook it. And that whole process would probably take about an hour and a half, sometimes 2, right? Depending on the traffic, because in Miami, it's crazy. And then I started to understand that like, damn, this is taking up a lot of my time. And so what I started to do is just delegating my food. Right now I have a chef that brings me food every Sunday for the whole entire week. And so food is essentially delegated. All I have to do is get the Tupperware, put it in the microwave, and then boom, I got my food. You know what I'm saying? So now I went from, spending 2 hours to now spending essentially 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And it's really important that you start making these decisions that are going to affect your future, right? That one decision of hiring a chef that brings me food allowed me to open up, my day to an extra 2 hours, And so from that one decision, I was able to get a substantial outcome, right? I was able to leverage my time with it. And, this could apply to many different things in your life. Like even for me, I wear the same shirt every day. Obviously today we're rocking the black, but usually in my videos, you see me rocking a white shirt because I don't want to spend my time figuring out, what I need to wear. I used to be super deep into fashion, and it would take me like 30 to 45 minutes to pick out what I wanted to wear that day. And then the moment I started doing e-com, I was like, dude, I can't be spending time doing this. So that's why you guys see me, wear the same shirt almost every single video. So yeah, that's going to be system number 3. I know I went a little bit off topic, but I hope, that actually, helps you guys. But this video again is going to go over everything in detail. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about, a little bit of a bonus for the people that are still watching. If you're still watching, bro, you're going to fucking make it. All right. And this is for you. Leverage in organic. All right. Leverage is using AI platforms and systems to make your effort produce exponentially more results than effort alone ever could. Right. So in organic, AI implementation is one of the highest leverage skills that you can learn right now. Right. Archimedes even said it, give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world. Right. And so going back to AI implementation, the traditional way of doing organic, right, meant spending weeks ordering a product, waiting for them to arrive, filming content, and testing only to find out that the product doesn't even convert, right? It was a terrible feeling, right? It took me 3 months to get my first ever sale. And now AI completely changes that timeline, because now you can find a product, create content, go viral, build a store, get your first sale all within 24 hours. It's insane. So the advantage isn't just AI, but the advantage is speed, right? Because the faster you can test, learn, and iterate, the faster you can find a winner. So going back to what I was talking about earlier with the first system that I went over, right? The testing demon system, is that you can get feedback a lot quicker, and you're going to be able to see, all right, do I cut this product or do I keep running it, right? And this is what AI has allowed me to do, is just test more effectively, more efficiently, and way quicker, right? Where back in the day, it just simply wasn't possible, you know? And so AI loves speed. And so you have to become the person that works effectively and really focuses on taking action, you know, because you could lag on a product that you found on a burner for just 2 days. And in just 2 days, 10 people can hop on it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be quick with it. And so that's why speed is crucial in this game, because, you know, in this business model, guys, the results are pretty much guaranteed, right? But the speed in which you get them aren't, you know? So if you work with speed, you will get results a lot quicker. And so, you know, during this time, we have about a month and a half left until Q4. You should be testing like an absolute animal to see what you want to bring into Q4. And it's not only me that's been doing this. I mean, if we go into the Discord inside of FSC, you guys can see that the wins have been actually insane. Today is August 21st. And so this win was posted yesterday by Kenny. You know, he did his first ever 2K day. And then if we keep on scrolling up, we got guys doing $17,000 in a week. If you go up here, we have Monk Mode hitting his first ever $1,000 day. We have Yannick all the way from Germany hitting his first ever $1,000 Euro day. If we keep going up, we have AR. He just finished off the day at 4K from a store that he just created, literally the first day on the store. And if we keep on scrolling up, we got Mikey here hitting a 3K day. We got beginners hitting their first ever $500 day. Guys, look at this. This is just insane. Everyone in here is printing. We even have Adam. He just did $154,000 in 3 weeks, and he bought his first ever car at 19. Bro, bro, are you serious? We're going to do a case study on him soon, so be on the lookout for that. We'll probably link the prods, but dude, like 154K in 3 weeks at 19 is crazy. And he also copped his AMG, bro. This is clean, bro. A little CLE. If we keep scrolling up, you know, everyone is just winning in here. Constant wins. And again, this is all from August. This is August 17th, literally a week ago. We also got Jake, right? Jake went from being one of the biggest sales reps for some of the top, influencers in the space to now fully pivoting to AI. And now he's done his first ever $20,000. So again, he completely shifted from one business model to another. And so you could see how literally anyone can just get on this and start learning it as soon as possible with the right knowledge. We even have George here hitting $350,000 with one singular store. Bro, like this is crazy. We even have Leps here. Shout out Emmanuel, bro. 32K in 7 days. Again, this is August 16th, guys. We even have Lars printing. Gus already up 25K on the month. Moonshots only. Shout out Greg. And it's crazy. It goes on forever. It goes on forever. We have Vitaly here doing what, 30K in 15 days. So yeah, it's crazy. So if you guys want to join FSC and work one-on-one with me personally, you guys can go ahead and apply in the description below. But like I said, it's not only me, you know, working with speed and testing multiple products at a time. Like all my students are too. So this is why we're seeing so many wins in such a short period of time. Like we're still in August, guys, is because we're testing with absolute efficiency and speed here. So that's why it's so important for you to go ahead and start, you know, really locking in this Q4 and building out the right systems that are going to work for you, right? I pretty much just lobbed you guys two that you guys can go ahead and start right now, but I'm telling you, there's countless other ones that I've created myself that I share with my students that could even get you even farther, right? So if that sounds like you and you want to get to the next level with AI implementation and AI organic dropshipping, like I said, you guys can go ahead and apply in the description below. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be the video. That's literally going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, drop me a like, drop me a sub. And if you made it this far in the video, comment pineapple, bro. Comment pineapple. I want to see the people who actually made it to the end of the video. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.